What guys? We have a cutting board that one of our fans sent us in. Pretty cool.
Beautiful woodwork.
rklaserworks.com. And I want to tell the guy, thank you, appreciate that. We got one fan, and he sent us a cutting board.
It was very nice of him, too.
Isn't that awesome?
There's a lot of good work in that cutting board.
Pretty nice one, too.
We got Big Tom Filarowski.
Afternoon.
He's Polish. Don't hold that against him. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Half of that.
Of course, my dad's here, and what's one of the most favorite things that we like to eat, Tommy? Come on.
Beef. Where's
beef?
the beef? We know where it is.
We're
right
beef.
here,
And
Todd.
we're on keto. How have you been? Be honest.
Really good. I kind of flattened out a little bit.
Where you at?
I'm 288, so it's another
Dude,
3
what?
pounds. Yep, we're dropping
Okay,
down.
so I dropped just under 300. I'm at 297 right now.
That's excellent. It
Yeah,
really is.
depends. Seems like you're always lighter in the morning than later.
Yeah, I've
in the
noticed
day.
that too.
What
After
the heck's
everything
going on?
works out.
Jack's at 170. What are you at, Dad?
175, 176.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know somebody's going to ask you about your apron. We forgot to give you our other
Pretty
apron.
nice. I got a flower.
He's got one of my wife's aprons on. I think that's a bow, Dad.
Not bad.
Yeah,
It's
that's
got
really cute.
I like
Look at
this.
the frill,
fringe
yeah.
down
I like
there.
this little ruffles here,
Not
man.
many guys can wear this.
That's right.
How's
Not
that
many
work in the
guys make a
400?
comment about it
Yeah,
either.
they better not. Okay, so brisket.
Beef
Let's go in.
brisket today.
Brisket, beef brisket.
So here we go.
Okay.
It's a great meal. It takes time to cook.
Somebody wants to. They're
We're
going
gonna
to the
show
store.
you.
They're going to pick out a brisket. What do they look for, Tom?
So here we go. In this case, here's what I looked for, was uniformity in the muscle itself. It's 2 primary muscles out of the animal, this being the point, this being the flat. I chose to go with the USDA
So they call that the
choice.
point and then the flat area here.
Absolutely. And you'll
Is it because
see it
it's
why in a
pointy and the
minute.
other part's flat?
That's possibly. Look, it's a Y. It's heading that way. Why am I going that
So
way?
is this the left side or the right side?
Well, let's putting that up on the critter, like so. That's the driver's side. What's that? If it's a car.
Okay, let's go. So what are you looking for though in the meat? Like
So I'm looking for marbling in the point cut first off. You'll see it up in here.
by the way, we all washed our hands.
Yeah, we just got done doing that. And then through here, the marbling in the grain of the flat cut itself.
Why do we want marbling, Tom?
It's going to be the flavor of this, the basis of the
Why?
flavor.
Is it because the fat is rendering in there? What's going on
And
when you're
when
cooking
we're
it?
cooking it, you know, it's breaking down. There are people that'll tell you that this pocket of fat here doesn't break down. We don't have the perfect brisket recipe, but we have eaten it and tested it, and it seems to add to the, the land that we have
I like
available.
this section, like when you're slicing through here. If it's tender, I mean, it's not like it breaks apart, but it needs to be really tender. You see a lot of places that sell brisket, and it's tough.
And part
right?
of it could be how they cut it. Okay,
Yeah.
because if you notice the grain's running in 2 separate directions, which I'll show you here in a moment. But it could be tough too, they're mass producing it. The things I'm gonna look for in the end of this is hope we get a nice smoke ring, means the smoke's permeated the muscle itself. It'll only go in so far. I'll introduce you to our rub. Unlike a lot of rubs, it doesn't have sugar in it. We're still staying on this keto
We're
thing.
keto, so this dry rub is going to be keto friendly. And a lot of people, you go to a barbecue place, you think you're getting keto, but I'm telling you, there's so much sugar in all the different sauces and rubs and everything. So okay, Tommy.
Let's start off and get the thing opened up.
tell us how to do it. So this, you buy it from the store, you bring it home.
It's a primal cut. You can get this at, this happens to be a
When you
wholesaler.
say primal cut, what does that mean?
If I
Real
had
quick.
the animal laying here in this kitchen, we'd break it down in 9 distinctive primal cuts, the brisket being one of them. Front quarter contains the chuck, all different ones. So here we go. We're dumping it in the sink rather than make a mess right off. But give me a chance. I'll try to get the kitchen messy again this week.
Here.
Let's get this
Throw
in
that
the
away,
garbage, Jack. Try not to drip
Put
too
it in
much
there.
on the floor. Get it to cold water. Just lightly rinse the blood that's we're dealing with. Some people will tell you, oh, don't get it wet. This piece of meat's been wet. And I'll find a towel. Thank
What kind of towel you want?
Just a pet dry.
So
Try
you
not to drip everywhere. We're trying not to.
just
Shauna,
drip,
I'm
it
sorry.
doesn't matter.
He doesn't do the cleaning up, his poor wife.
Bull crap. I don't.
Anyways, so what I'm going to start with here is you'll see there's like a membrane, which is in any muscle
So this
tissue.
is upside down from the way we just had it setting.
Yeah,
right?
so
Okay.
we're on the meat side of it, starting
Okay.
off. You'll see there's like a film. This film is like it's a silver skin. Then some of it's already been taken off at the packers and it opens up the membrane. So carefully, because you're paying every pound of this, you're paying by the pound, so
You're
let's not
just-
wasting any. I'm just going through, trying to get underneath this silver skin.
Okay.
A flexible knife helps quite a bit.
So like just kind of like a fillet knife.
Yeah, in this case, that's what I have right here, is a fillet knife. Try to keep it fairly sharp. Worst knife you can own is a dull one. We all know that. Chances of getting cut are better. And I'm really not trying to put any waste here. But the reason you take the silver skin off
Yeah. Why?
is the rub itself is going to have a chance to flavor or permeate
So
the
you
meat.
got to be 100% perfect. If you have a little bit here and there, you're okay.
You're going to be okay. This is going to be very good eating. We're going to cook it long and slow. And today, by the way, we're going to cook it with a method that a lot of people might not have, but we're going to use a pellet stove, a Traeger. A very good product for doing this type of cooking. And don't panic, we're not losing a lot of flavor here. But we're getting when the packer came through here, we see that he slipped with his knife as he was
So
breaking
this
it
was
off.
a mess up, huh?
That's right
Okay.
here. They can't really see it, but
So in the packing place, they took
he
a
kind of slipped with his knife right here. And when they pack so much meat, they're not changing things that often. But you can see how the texture's changing, it's opening the grain, and we're getting that, as I said earlier, the silver skin right off the top. And then, I guess I'd say I'm kind of rushing it. Now, there's people that'll tell you not to remove this, that adds to the flavor.
What's that?
It's the muscle between the point and the flat cut.
Yeah.
The way that we've been doing it, and I'm very satisfied with the results, is I take most of this out. And it's personal preference. I'm sure there are people that are saying right now, oh, you don't need to do that. And perhaps they're right. But there's no set science to doing this. And it's up to you to practice and do all these things and decide the way you
That
like
actually
it.
went pretty smooth.
That's
Yeah.
just pure fat, though.
Yeah, it's a fat section of the animal. I'm going to open it up here a little bit more. I'm going to face the edge. This is a pretty nice looking edge, but again, remember.
Why? Why are we facing it?
I'll see it's a little darker.
Oh, yeah.
And I want it to be fresh and let those spices get in there. And I probably went a little overboard, but you don't have to go quite that thick. I guess it gives something for the animals to eat.
Okay.
So I'm just so it's squared
And
up.
all these little tricks, Tom, is this to get like just a little bit better flavor? Maybe just get the rub in there.
Get a little bit
Get the
of
smoking
flavor
in
and
there.
The smoke. No matter who's smoking or what type of smoke you're using, the meat's only going to accept so much. And then the end of this, I hope to show you a nice, what they call a smoke ring. And now we're opening up into the point cut.
Okay.
Again, you see a little bit of
Yeah.
the membrane. Now I'll flip it over and show you this portion here. That was right from the packer. I'm going to square that up and just try to brighten it up a little bit. There we go. So now rather than leave this all together, and I want to put some spices in there, I'm going to kind of start breaking the point from the flat cut
Okay.
all the way down. Again, you're going to see another silver skin, and I'm going to show you what I do with it. There's the top of the flat cut, and there is a little bit of silver skin there, and I'm going to expose the meat again. You'll see the grain opening up. I'm going to show you a point where there's a difference in how the grain runs. So in the end of this, when we're ready to serve, it's important that you know which way the grain is running so that
Are we always trying to cut against the grain then?
we're going to cut across
Always
it.
cross
We're
it
never
as-
cutting with it
Never
when we
cut
go
with
to serve it. So here's another piece of that fat that's attached to the point at this end of it anyways. I'm almost to that base fat, which I'll show you in a minute. But what we've done,
We're gonna leave this video up. If you want to try this at home, just follow us along, hit pause, work your brisket along.
and like I said, there's no science to this. People are gonna
And
say,
we're no
"Oh,
God's
I
gift
never-"
to anything. There's some guys like, you don't deserve to wear a chef's hat, Todd. And I'm like, you know, that was photoshopped. I don't own
That's
it.
the good news.
I don't own a chef's hat.
No,
So
I
like,
got a hunting hat, which
yeah, we
I'm
got a hunting hat.
taking to Wyoming next week, which I'm pretty excited about.
You guys are hunting antelope next
We're
week?
heading off to the beautiful state of Wyoming.
Love it.
So anyway, so now that's about it, all I'm doing. You'll see the difference.
So you split
We have the point
split
cut,
those sections
and you
from
see
the
how
flat
the
and the
grain's
point,
running this way.
and you took all that fat out
Yeah,
of there.
and we have the
a lot of
flat
people
cut.
don't do that, do they, Tom?
It's not, a lot of people, it adds to they say the juiciness, not drying out. Oh, I'm going to show you how I've done it over the years to add that juiciness back in, and maybe I'm cheating, but. So now you can see that it's the meat, the flesh, there's the way the flat cut grain runs. Here's the way the point cut grain runs. We need to remember that when it comes time to serving. I'm flipping it over. As you can see, there's the fat of the animal. Most of this I'm going to leave on today. It's not a
Why
very
is that?
thick.
Just to get a little flavor, or
I'm
just
looking for a little bit of cover, maybe a 1/4 inch. Some of this I'd probably go below that. There's a different methods of when we do go to cooking it. Some people will explain to you that, oh, you need to cook the fat side, needs to be on the top. Oh, no, you need the fat on the bottom. I don't know the right or wrong of this. For us, and the way that we eat it, the fat goes to the bottom of the grill. Could be the mistake of a lifetime, and you might want to try it. The fat stays on the top.
I'll tell you what, you want to come and eat real brisket, and you eat ours and compare it to the rest of the guys, and I'm telling you, I've eaten brisket almost all over the planet.
So here we go.
I put ours up against anybody's.
The trick to this muscle, that's all this is. This piece of beef is nothing more than a muscle, two in this case. The flat cut and the point cut,
Okay.
is that we're going to cook it slow temperature and long time. Now we're going to come to the rub. You'll see I left some fat in here.
Okay.
And the rub is going to be that flavor to accent the beef when it comes time to serving. So I'll
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna-
there it is. Let's go ahead and let's
start on
work
the
our
back.
way over onto the rub. Okay, guys, we're moving this direction. Tom, you
give
wanna-
me a minute
yeah.
here and before I grab all those bottles and try to get some of the mess to the side of the sink.
Okay, you got a towel?
Yep. So, Jack is not the one in it, but Todd and I are really on this keto thing, and I'm thankful that after all the years of not listening to my wife, that I've listened to her, and I feel so much better. The thing about rubs that you see, be careful of the ingredients. A lot of them have sugar. This has no sugar in it whatsoever. It consists of salt, garlic, onion powder, black pepper, We don't put a lot, but we have
And zoom in on these guys
we have a
because I want to show you. We know where these spices come from, Tom.
yeah. I'll explain that
Go
in
ahead.
a moment. And we're talking garlic powder. This happens to be ground thyme, which I didn't. I used whole thyme, and unfortunately forgot the bottle. Paprika
And we're gonna supply this. We're gonna supply this recipe to you guys.
and oregano. I've mixed it all
This-
well together, blended it
That's what it looks like.
for
right
quite
there.
some time. And
Here.
then
That's what it should look like when you're done.
and we're really thankful to this company. It's hard to find spices that haven't been sitting on the shelf for ages. Morton and Bassett has in our area, they're based out of San Francisco. They're very fresh and they're source oriented, which means, you know, they didn't buy from a warehouse. They went to the country where this was grown, tested it, and decided, yes, it's up to our quality standards. It really, really helps
Now,
us.
look at this bad boy. What the hell are we gonna do with this, Tom?
Time to get vaccinated. No,
Jack's seen a few of these.
More than a few.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're
must be-
evil,
it has to
evil
be the
Knievel.
apron. It
You're
must
part
be the
evil
apron.
Knievel.
So let's take the rub that's already
Okay.
prepped and
So we're
start
moving
right
back
here on
over this
brisket.
direction.
So to say that this is perfectly trimmed, there's none of us in this room that ever go under that category. So I'm gonna start on the back side, the fat side, which in our case, I want everyone to know this, we're gonna put the fat side down on the Traeger. So it's pretty simple. We can't put, I'd say you can't put too much. I'm going by
can't.
how it looks.
You can put too little.
You probably could. I'm not going to try to spread this out with my hands. I'm going to try to just, I guess, pack it down.
So it's not really a rub, it's a pack.
It's, yeah, we're kind of, see, I'm making it even. I'm pushing it into the fat, in this case, the fat.
Okay?
Okay? A lot of times if we were to rub this, it would open up and there'd be sections where it might not be spiced in quite so well.
Yeah.
We got to get the edge, which on the camera case, you can't really see it. I'll explain it to you and show you in a moment. But you want it evenly proportioned. There's no rocket science to this. Now we're going to flip it over. And here's where a lot of the flavor's added. I'm going to open up the flat cut to the brisket. And internally, we're going to end up that
Man, that
flavor's
smells-
carried through.
Smells awesome.
It's really too bad there isn't a sniffer on this cameras
Yeah, man.
because it is a treat to smell this. So here we go. We got it on here. I'm not even bothering with this side. When it makes contact and I'm pressing down, that's pretty much getting
That's
the
good enough,
spices.
huh?
See it pick up the spices. So there we go. Now we're on the
Oh,
top
nice.
of it. We're pretty much heading just to the flat cut side.
Dude, Tom, that smells so good.
And it is gonna eat so good.
For a chubby guy,
You know,
this is like a little slice of heaven. That's what heaven's gonna be like, Tom, right here.
it's gonna be
Briskets.
better than that. Better
Is
than
it?
that.
Will
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Oh, I hope
yeah.
so.
Yeah, that we all know.
All right.
Okay, so now again, we're just pressing it into the beef itself, into the muscle, all the way around. We'll notice that the edges didn't seem to get much, so it's a lot of times there where again, we just pick up
Do
what's
you
on
have
the
to have
cupboard.
big sausage fingers to make this
No,
work right,
no.
or can you do this with
Little
normal
puny.
normal size? Can some of the normal size hands do this, Tom?
I'm not sure that this isn't normal. I mean,
Now that you're losing weight, is your wife cuddling with you more?
my wife is always a cuddler. She's just
Absolutely.
fantastic.
There's
Can't
Karen
say
over,
enough things
there's Karen over there watching.
fantastic about my wife. I did tell you I'm going hunting to Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil a good thing.
No, you don't.
If you'd slide that over, I won't
Okay.
make it so tough on the missus. Nope, I'm not rinsing the thing. He has to.
Hang on.
In a
Hang on.
minute, in
Hey,
a
we got a
minute.
fight going. Okay, what are we doing?
There we go. So
So you're gonna take it right in there.
we're gonna put it to the chief cook and bottle
Oh, there's
washer.
two trays here.
And that's okay. We're not I'll bring him back in a minute.
Now, I'm gonna let you and Jack handle this.
So in a minute here, I'm gonna take this out. Jack's gonna
Jack,
lug it
Dad,
outside.
come over here. You're gonna take it out. Just one tray, right, Tom? Why do you got
Yep,
two?
I don't care if we take two.
Just one.
Okay. By the way, this cutting board is excellent.
Who's
Somebody
following?
really knows their
who's taking
stuff.
it? Both of them? Okay. Okay, Tom, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go put it in the Traeger.
Oh, somebody's got the door even. What a great team. Thank you very much. So,
Hey, Tom, how long are you gonna cook this thing for?
well, in that I'm estimating that at about 9 pounds.
Yeah.
It's quite possible it'll be out here for up to 11, maybe 12 hours. We're starting off with really low temperatures.
So you're gonna check the temperature at about when?
I figured that in about 4 hours I'll see where
About
we're at,
4
but
hours.
6.
What should it be at 4 hours?
We're looking after about 6 hours to be about 165 internally.
And then at the end, what should it be?
When we go to turn things up, we're going to get to about 200 and then give it a good rest before we serve, which I'll show you here shortly.
Right.
So you want to make sure your grill is full of your pellets. This is our smoke source. And in the fact that we are using beef, this isn't a fish dish, that's a hickory mesquite mix.
Okay.
It's a little stronger smoke. Oak will work great, pecan works great.
Okay.
So we're taking it off of the cookie sheet, and the point cut is the thickest, Jack. So let's put the point cut closest, right in the center of the rack. We don't want to spread it out bad.
Okay.
But we're putting the thicker part up here towards where the heat source somewhat, and then the thinner towards the other end of this. We're shutting the lid. Double check our temperature, which we have the setting on right now, I believe 225. It won't hurt. In about 4 hours, we head to 275. We'll possibly end it at 325 once we get a reading at all 3 of those stages.
So it's ready to go in about 11 hours.
Ready to serve, you bet. I believe that on this one, you know, we check it periodically.
Yeah.
But
All right.
so now we're headed back. And it is going to be delicious. So let me clean up a little bit here. And
Let's recap 2 seconds on that, Tom. You put it in there. What's the temperature? Traeger, what's the temp?
the temp is that it's set on is 225.
So you set it at 225, we're probably holding 215.
Yeah, we're a little
Okay.
lower. You got to
You're gonna go how
remember
many
outside
hours?
today, it's only what, 48 degrees, so it's
Well,
cool.
when's, how long
I'm
until
going
you
to
check?
check that in 4 hours.
Okay,
I'm looking before I change anything at a temperature of about 165 internally.
internally.
In the point cut. I won't
Okay.
go into the flat.
And then
end.
what are we gonna do?
Then if I see that it needs a little more temperature,
Okay.
we'll drop it up to 275 on the Traeger.
Okay,
By those 4 hours, 6 hours max, all the smoke that meat's going to accept
Will have
is already be
done.
there.
so what is our internal temperature? What are we trying to bring it up to? Just tip the scales at?
At the very end of this,
Yeah.
we should have an internal temperature of around 200 before we even set it to rest.
Okay, so
And
200.
200 degrees
Don't go,
internally.
what if we go beyond that? You're gonna kill it, aren't you?
Well, you
Or
know,
you're gonna be okay? If you get a little bit, 205,
you
205.
get a little dry on it.
Yeah, so that's the right thing, right about 200, and then
Yeah.
we pull it out.
And I just realized something.
What?
We rushed this process and we didn't inject any beef stock into it.
Oh.
So what I want to show you, he asked what this
Oh, well.
was for.
Hey, it's live, man. We
You know,
can't. Yeah,
you know,
what is that?
he's
What are we gonna do?
pushing- It's Jack's apron. It just does something for
Yeah, man.
everyone here.
Pretty.
So if that were back sitting on the table, this is nothing more than beef stock. You buy it at any store.
Okay.
We would inject in that flat muscle and
Yeah.
the point muscle about every inch, 3/4 of an inch. you would go through a volume of maybe 3/4 of a cup of broth.
3/4 of a cup, every
Inject it
inch.
into the
injected.
muscle.
How you're injecting it? How deep?
With the grain. That's
How deep?
important. Really? it
So when you say in the
varies.
grain's like this. You come in like this.
Yeah. So the grain in the point cut we saw was running, as we'll say, in this direction. The grain in the flat cut was running opposite of that somewhat.
And what have you found when you inject your brisket with beef stock?
So number one is we're keeping moisture in there because I remove so much of the fat in that point cut.
Right, right.
We want to keep that moisture in there in hopes that the final product we come up with a nice smoke ring, excellent flavor, and it's moist
Yeah,
and tender.
it's not dried out.
You know, I got up the crack of dawn this morning thanks to my missus.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you one here in a minute that has been on the grill, let me think, 4 to 12 was how long? You're the mathematician.
4 to 12, 8 hours?
And then it went on a little bit higher because I wasn't meeting that
I
165.
got an itch right here in the back.
Yeah,
Itch.
okay, Jack, that's your job. Okay, Sean,
Okay,
where are
so-
you?
so, yeah,
wait,
yeah,
Jack,
use
there's
that
the
thing.
itcher.
Okay, so we have a brisket all done, so we don't have to
ready to
wait for
go.
all this. These guys, you
Been
know, they're
injected.
already getting jumpy out on the internet.
Here's
Brian, we're going to be able to produce that, the rub,
Yep.
and then you know how to inject it. We have our times and our internal temperatures,
Yep.
right?
165 is our first one.
Total,
we're trying to hit.
how long was it in your Traeger to get to that 200 mark? 8 hours, you're saying, right?
I was closer to 10, 10 and a half.
10 and a
And
half
it's
hours.
now been resting about
Yeah.
2 hours.
Okay.
Resting is so important.
Yeah.
You bring that piece of meat in here, no matter what it is. Let's say we had a hamburger going on.
Yeah.
Don't just flip it off the grill, throw it in the bun, bite into it.
Yeah.
Everything's going to make you, in non-keto diet,
Yeah.
soggy, and it's going to be dripping out. Let it rest because
How
that
long?
muscle tissue.
How long do we let it rest?
In a brisket, a minimum of an hour. It can be 2
So,
hours,
and
3
I've
hours.
seen you, like, you take it out of there and you wrap it.
Yep, that's coming
What
up.
do you wrap? Okay.
So I'm going to show you. It's coming out of the oven right now. This oven has not been on. Let's move.
You guys
over
don't
the
have to come
side.
in. We're just going to pull this
I'll
one
put
out.
it right up here on the
We're going to
deck.
put it right up here, guys.
So I wrapped it in aluminum foil.
Okay, so this came out. You had about 10 hours in this, 10 and a half hours. You came out, you wrapped it in foil, and then you let it let it rest for at least an hour.
Yep, at least an
Before
hour.
we
So
open this baby, let's take a question for Jack. I guess we got a couple questions coming in. Judah, come on in here, buddy. How's his levels on his mic? Is he good?
Sounding good? So this one's not really food related, but some people
It
have been
doesn't
asking.
matter. Who cares?
What's the most trouble Todd ever got in when he was younger?
Oh man.
You know, Todd was in trouble a lot more than I knew, and so I
mean, what
found
do you
out years later from different people. Did you ever catch him doing this or doing that? You know, so he wasn't a lot of trouble to me, and he says I was busy watching TV all the time when he was growing up, but it wasn't true. But
A lot of my memories are us watching the Rockford Files. Am I right, guys?
But you know,
One of the
he
best
really
series
wasn't as troublesome as
No.
you know could have
My
been.
sisters were way
Oh,
more degenerates compared to me. I was a favorite child. Everybody knows
Yeah.
that.
I don't know even what camera's on, but I think observation from a non-family member is coming in here, and I might get booted out the door. But this is kind of a mama's boy. Okay?
What?
So
What are you talking about?
you got Jack
This is
over
live
here.
TV.
all right?
I'm not a mama's boy.
But you know, so I bet Mama knew not to tell Dad on some certain things.
Yeah.
But I think
No.
only God knows and Mama.
that's not right because she was ratty mountain art.
Oh, she would?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
she
had to
did.
get that
Hey,
out there.
Dad, a lot of people watch this, you know, and a lot of people are, you know, they're struggling with their life and their kids and their relationships or anything. How long have you and Mom have been married?
53 years.
53 years.
Yeah.
is there any piece of advice you can throw us? Because Judah, you got how many years in? 15 or?
Yeah, half my wife's life.
Yeah.
15
Well,
years.
I just came back from a memorial service.
That's just, he's just kidding.
And I'll tell you,
She's
one of
40.
the most dangerous things is
Yeah.
the internet. The internet has lured young people away from their families. They believe everything they hear and they see on the internet. And I'll tell you what, this memorial service was a testimony to pay attention to what your kids are doing, pay attention to the
My
internet.
dad just went to, I don't want to get into it, but he just went to a memorial service for a young lady and that passed away. But anyways, I'm thinking more like don't talk about the internet because here we are on the internet, Dad. But
No.
I'm thinking more
there's
like,
good things.
I'm talking about life. Like give these guys something about life. Like, what is it that, because I know that you've always been honorable in your marriage. I know, those types of things. Don't worry about the internet.
Number one is if you appreciate things that people do for you or
Right.
your children do, tell them. Don't be silent about
That's
it.
hard to do sometimes.
Well, you forget. Like the other day, I was just thinking about my wife, and I told
Yeah.
her, I said, I just want you to know, I appreciate everything you do.
Yeah.
And she says, well, you don't say that very much. I said, yeah, I know I don't. That's why I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
And so just don't be too prideful
Are we all
to say
in
that.
trouble with Mom, or are we? You know what? She does our books. She does our so appreciate those around you.
Yeah, and I don't care
You
what
don't
it
last
is.
forever.
Yeah.
One of the things in the Bible is to love one another.
Yep. Yep.
Love people more than yourself. You try.
That's all you can do. You can
Yeah.
only try and just go as far as you possibly can, and
Yeah.
treat people the way you want to be treated. And, I've made that a project in my life, and so it's always panned out.
Well, you got millions of fans out there, Dad. I had to do a lot of the TV BS because unfortunately, guys, there's a lot of BS in reality TV, and I had to take the brunt of those things so some of my other buddies could be superstars, and that's fine, and that's all good. Because in the end, I made the most money. So, yeah. So anyways, but my dad always been honorable. You got millions of fans out there, Dad, and a lot of people always want to know what you're doing. What do you do? What are you doing? Anything cool lately?
I've just basically been building little projects at my hangar, and I get people every day. They come in and they want to walk around. I take the time. I stop, talk to them.
Good.
Yep.
Stop and talk to him.
He always gets projects for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy. He sees me coming, he shuts the door. No,
I
not
don't.
at
All
all.
right. Thanks, Judah, for
Yeah.
coming out. What
Do we
else?
get to see a Hoffman cookout competition anytime soon?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
last
know.
week we did the salmon stuff. I don't know. We're okay at cooking.
I've got
We hang out
certain
with
things.
guys that really are good at it.
People want to see that.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I-
All right.
I
Thanks,
actually-
Judah.
Thank you.
Hey, Judah Crombie. It's our buddy.
Yeah.
Our buddy Judah. We got all of our great little guys
Guess
that
what
do
we're up to
everything that
next.
they like. Got great camera guy. Got Brian in here for Zoom. We got John over here running some cameras, doing some sound. We appreciate everybody. All right, dude. Let's open this thing
Okay,
up.
it's time for the.
Okay, what now, Tom?
Say a quick prayer because we don't really know. That
We don't
hasn't-
know, man. This could have
hasn't
been a bad
opened.
one. Well,
This might be the worst one we've ever
All
done.
right,
So
let's
let's
see
see
here.
what happens.
So, what is this stuff here?
It's some of the stock.
Some of the
Not
beef stock that you
necessarily
injected?
put in. It was afterwards. When I went to wrap this, I put some more stock over it. Oh
That
my!
looks
Oh dear
great. That
Lord!
looks good.
Maybe I should have got a larger one. I hope nobody's
I don't think I
hungry.
can say this on live TV, but man, I'm getting really turned on right now.
Oh, lucky
Just
me,
kidding,
yeah.
guys.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
grab that and throw
Okay.
it toward the sink.
Dad,
There
got
you
it,
go.
Jacker.
So this is
Oh,
really,
man.
really relevant to the visual on seeing how the grain runs.
Okay.
You can see in what they call a bark that it's running at a diagonal.
They call that bark.
That's
the bark?
what I hear. And by the way, If we were at my brother's house, which he lives in a beautiful area of Tennessee, you wouldn't see aluminum foil. I guess down south they wrap it in what they call unwaxed butcher paper.
Oh,
And it's described by my brother that what happens there is it makes this, quote, bark somewhat crispy.
oh.
By using aluminum foil, there's a
It
little
kinda
bit
holds-
of crispness.
You think
but
it
it's
holds a little
damp.
bit of moisture on the outside?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
gotcha.
It
I got
breaks
it.
down.
That makes
So,
sense.
Let's take one of our knives.
We got it. He's already wiped it off.
I'll grab another one just in case.
Okay.
We'll see if it's a dull one. A meat fork would be great, and I didn't get it out of the cupboard.
Let me grab you one. You
Let's
just,
see what we can find. So, well, again, you see the grains going this way on the flat.
Yep.
When we get to the point, we see that the grain is going this way.
Yep.
We do not want to slice with the grain. It'd be like somewhat chewing on a, let's say a rubber band if we slice it with the grain. Snap back at you. This we're hoping is going to be tender.
That's good.
Oh, look what we're finding.
Yes, Tommy.
Boy,
want
that's
another
not that. No, one is good. This is pretty nice one. Boy, I don't have one. That's a really nice one. Okay, so let's start with the flat cut and see what happens. Who's going to take a picture of this? So, you don't necessarily have to cut on the angle.
Here,
We're gonna
let me-
see.
Let me
Oh,
look at
the
that.
tester. It's a good thing we brought
Now,
a
what
tester.
are we looking at?
So,
So it looks like the smoke's gone all the way into there at least.
in this, we're on the
Try it,
very
yeah.
end, though. Oh, we got
Oh,
a
look at that
smoke
ring.
like no tomorrow.
We got a smoke ring, guys. You
See how
see
the-
that?
The red and then the center where the smoke didn't permeate into the muscle. Maybe
John,
I'm
you got
cutting
you
it
got
too
this camera? Awesome.
soon. Okay,
Let me,
another one.
let me try this smoke ring here.
Maybe people cut theirs a little thicker. Might even be dry. Probably like chewing on an old shoe. No, Jack says we're not eating old shoes today. So here we go. You see that I'm cutting not with the grain, but across the grain. On
Completely,
this flat.
just straight across.
Yeah, and you'll see that the flat is tapered on one end. I think I'm laying it out here, so it might work. You see that there's a fat on the bottom. This is the tapered end where the smoke permeated almost through the whole muscle. Center where
Wow.
it didn't permeate. The rub and your flavor and spices on the outside to accent the beef flavor that's right there, the juiciness of it. Now let's go to the point cut, which I'll take right
You
off.
switch position with you there, buddy.
Okay,
Okay.
you're looking at the flat cut primarily. And you notice that I cut it against the grain. Here's all the grain. I'm not gonna cut it, but I'll show you I will cut a slice just for, I won't say what I'm thinking. So see how the grain's all laying out? Just like chewing on a shoe. It's gonna be stretchy. So the point cut we're gonna do a little different. Again, we're going across the
I'm gonna
grain.
get it up on her. Okay.
Oops, I'm sorry.
There you go.
And again,
So you're gonna cut it again. Okay.
what a smoke green ring we have. And the point cut is usually the heavier marbled cut of the two. The flat cut ordinarily is the leanest. You can see the juices coming out when I go through this. Might be a little bit over, but we're going to suffer through this today, folks. And we hope that you have the opportunity to suffer through it. I'm not pressing on this. That's all the juices coming out of it. It's very, very moist.
You just sort of-
I'm looking forward to eating a few pieces of this. I hope that you get the chance at home to
I can't help it.
enjoy this recipe. It may not be the best one you've ever had, but it's the way everyone here
This is.
really, really likes it. We enjoy it. I
Everything's
wish you
gonna-
could come in and I could serve you dinner, to be honest with you, because I'm blessed that my ma taught me the term of hospitality.
Amen.
And we don't usually go hungry, I'll tell you that. And this is a full keto meal. There's nothing here, no sugars added, no preservatives. use quality ingredients, right from the spices to the beef stock that you're using to the grated beef that you buy. And I think
Amen.
you'll enjoy it.
Thank you, Tom.
No, you're
Guys,
welcome.
there you go.
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely,
Brisket.
Jack.
Perfect.
We usually try to close with a little prayer. Dad, do you want to
Yeah,
close
sure.
us in prayer?
Sure. Lord, we thank you so much for Tom and for this, just the opportunity to share with those around us how to cook brisket. And Lord, we ask that they would do it and that they would invite their friends over and share a meal. And we pray this in your precious and holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very, very
There's
much.
episode 3 of Todd's Kitchen, guys, and we're gonna wind up here.
I'm gonna
We're gonna post this, all of our recipes on there. You can always contact us on Facebook, wherever. We'll get a hold of you, Tom.
I want to take him out on the boat and let's go do some Dungeness crabbing because it's that time of year. And
do it,
we
man.
can do some recipes that, good.
Dude, we live in Oregon and we got a lot of cool stuff. We do
Yeah,
around
we're
here.
so blessed to be here.
Amen.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys,
everyone.
We'll see you
Have
later.
a wonderful day.
Yep. Take care. Come on, guys. Come on here and grab some chunks. Tom, you want to cook them? Cut them some?
I'll cut.
Oh. A piece I just got.
Radish.
No, I didn't bring any, and I meant to, but
Man, is that good.